The dirt road was endless, baked hard by the relentless summer sun. Every step Elias took sent dry gravel crunching beneath his heavy leather boots. He had been walking for days. His throat was parched, his canteen was empty, and his stomach twisted with a hollow, aching hunger. Just as the heat became unbearable, the heavy afternoon air began to shift. A cool, crisp breeze swept over the crest of the hill, carrying the unmistakable scent of damp earth and living wood. Elias pushed his way through a thicket of dry brush, and there, standing alone in a hidden, sunlit valley, was a giant. It was an ancient apple tree. Its trunk was wider than a wagon, wrapped in thick, grooved bark. Its massive branches reached out like welcoming arms, creating a vast canopy of lush, green leaves that danced in the gentle wind. Beneath it was a paradise of deep, cool shade. Elias stepped into that shade, letting his heavy pack drop to the grass. He looked up into the branches. Dotted all along the lower limbs were hundreds of small, hard green apples. They were unripe, bitter, and months away from being edible. But then, a beam of golden sunlight caught something at the very highest peak of the tree. There, swaying gently at the top, was a single perfect apple. It was ruby red, plump, and glowing with sweet juices. It was the only ripe fruit on the entire tree, an early gift of the season. Elias's mouth watered. He needed that apple. He reached up, but the lowest branches were far beyond his grasp. He scoured the ground, gathering a handful of smooth, heavy stones. Taking aim, he hurled them upward. They bounced harmlessly off the thick wooden limbs, falling back to the dirt, leaving the red apple completely untouched. Frustration gripped him. The hunger in his belly drowned out the logic in his head. He looked at the hundreds of green apples that would soon be a feast, and then he looked at the one red apple he could not have. He didn't want to wait for the harvest. He wanted his prize, and he wanted it now. Slowly, Elias turned to his canvas bag. He reached inside and pulled out a heavy woodcutter's axe. The iron head gleamed in the dappled sunlight. He walked up to the ancient, towering giant. He planted his boots firmly in the dirt, tightened his grip on the smooth wooden handle, drew the heavy axe back, and swung. The blade beat into the ancient wood with a deep, echoing thud. Again and again, the rhythmic sound of iron striking wood chased away the quiet peace of the valley. Wood chips flew into the air. Sweat dripped from his brow. Hours passed, and the sun began to set. But Elias's stubborn obsession drove him forward. He was destroying a century of nature's patient work for a single fleeting craving. Finally, the heart of the great tree surrendered. A terrifying crack ripped through the evening air. The massive trunk groaned, the timber splintering violently as the giant tilted. Slowly at first, and then with a deafening, earth-shaking crash, the ancient tree plummeted to the ground. Dust and crushed leaves exploded into the air. And then, a heavy silence fell over the valley. Panting, Elias smiled. He climbed over the shattered branches, his boots snapping twigs and crushing the hundreds of ruined, unripe green apples that would never see the harvest. He walked straight to the top of the fallen canopy, reached into the leaves, and plucked the ruby red apple. He wiped the dust from its skin, brought it to his lips, and took a massive bite. The crunch was loud and crisp. The juice was intensely sweet. It was everything he had wanted. He chewed greedily, the cool fruit satisfying his dry throat. In a matter of moments, the apple was completely gone. Elias let out a sigh of relief and sat down on the jagged stump to rest. But as the sweet taste faded from his tongue, a cold evening wind swept through the valley. Elias shivered. He looked up, expecting the warm, comforting canopy of leaves, but there was only the empty, darkening sky. He looked down at the ground, covered in the wreckage of broken wood and hundreds of crushed green apples. His prize had lasted exactly 1 minute. But the shade, the beauty, and the endless future harvests of the great tree were gone forever. He tossed the empty apple core into the dirt, entirely alone in a barren field.
Sassing long-term blessings for instant, short-term gratification is the foolish way to live. Patience always pays off, while impatience leaves you with nothing but an empty core and a cold wind.